Hello, my name is Mike Lively for Mind When Blowing, and today we're going to finish up the second part of XML into SQLite. Now we're going to do that in NetBeans. I have NetBeans open right now, and it's a beautiful program. If you love C++ programming, PHP, Java like I do, or mobile, you can do it all in this environment. And it looks very much like Eclipse. If you've used Eclipse, well, then NetBeans is like falling off a log. And here's the code side, for example, and here's a navigator panel. And inside that, I got a program called Create Table. We're going to use that to create our database and our table, and then we're going to go to our plugin, SQLite Manager in Firefox, and we're going to go ahead and input the XML data. So what you see right here is you have the typical define stuff that you find in PHP. You're going to define a database and where it goes, and a title, and a version, a header, and a footer, and all the other stuff. And we have three methods that follow: an init method, a main method, and a page method. And all the good stuff is in the main method. We're going to create a database here, and if it doesn't exist, we'll create it. And if it does, we'll say, hey, it already exists. And then below that, we're going to create a table. And the name of that table is going to be return data. So we're going to first check if the table exists. So if it does, we don't want to create it again or erase everything. And if it doesn't, we create it. And we have some variables. We're going to declare an ID, a year, a bill, bond return, SP500, and CPI. And all of those have been affinity type. Not strict type, but affinity type, which means it tries to make it or settle with that affinity. And if it doesn't, it'll turn into a text. Just keep that in mind, as we said earlier, that it's not the same as what you do in SQL programming, where strict typing is strict typing. And you can't put other values like that in there. Here you can put any value in a SQLite database, and it'll try it'll convert it to text if it's not the strict type value that you have. Just one more important thing: we've got to make sure that the columns in this database does match the actual XML file we're trying to import. So let's check that out right now. On my desktop, I have a folder called Stewart, and Stewart has sent me an investment data XML. Let's open that up real quick. We'll open that up with Dreamweaver, and here's my Dreamweaver, and I've got a return data tag. And what SQLite Manager is going to parse this for me automatically, but I make sure these tags, year, T-bill return, bond return, and so forth, must exactly match what's inside my database table. Let's go ahead and compare those two and make sure it does. So I'm bringing NetBeans back up, and indeed you can see that everything does match. And I have added the integer key, which does not have to be in my XML table. But you got year, and then T-bill return, and so forth. Everything matches up, and if it doesn't, it won't parse, it won't work. So now that I have that, I want to create this table. But first, I got to make sure the table doesn't exist, and I have created the table previously, so I need to delete that. So let's delete this, and it's gone. So we're going to run the program, and running the program, you can see it says created database. Now, if I try to run it again, it's going to tell me you can't create it because it's already there. So let's refresh. Tries to create it again, and it says it won't do that. It already exists. And let's go ahead and take a look at the code real quick. And you can see now in my database folder, there's my SQLDB database. Now let's go ahead and open that up in the add-on. So if you go to Tools, you can see that the SQL Manager Lite is there. And let's open that up. And we can see right here that I have a return table, and there I have an ID, a year, a T-bill return. So all the columns have been produced, and I want to populate these records. Now, just real quick here, is this ID, you get it for free. Because in SQLite, there's something called a row ID, and it's a good practice to go ahead and turn that into a key. And I did that, and that is already there in SQLite. I just renamed it as key ID, and that's going to work well for me when I'm doing relational stuff. So now the easy part is let's import our XML. This is what this is all about. This is 9 steps we've been going through. So we're going to go to Database, and we're going to go to Import. And we have 3 options to import: CSV, comma separate values, SQL, or XML. Isn't that cool? This is fantastic software. We're going to import XML, so make sure you click on that and go select File. We'll navigate to Stewart's file real quick. Go to the desktop. Hit the Stewart folder. And there's this XML data. And all we have to do at this point is hit the OK button. And when we do, it's going to bring all that beautiful data in for us. It says, do you want to import? Yes, I do. It's going to parse for me automatically. Just beautiful. And there's going to be 83 rows right there. Fantastic. And hit OK. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take a look and see if that data exists. So we'll go to Browse and Search. And so it's imported all that data for us. Let's go to Browse and Search. And there's the data. Isn't that beautiful? You can see the numbers are, and the text and the real are all color-coded. So that's just so fantastic. Works beautifully. This is how you import XML into SQLite. Now you could have done all this just by using the SQLite manager. You wouldn't even need the PHP coding, but you're going to need that in future projects and in the particular website for the investment strategy group that we're creating. So thanks for listening. This was Mike Lively for Mind Went Blowing, and I'll see you next time.